How's it going, guys, and welcome to the Minute channel. We have a discussion video here today, and it's gonna be an interesting video here. I haven't done one of these type of videos in a while where I talk about one particular subject of a Persona game, and I thought I just kind of wanted to do this. One of the viewers gave me the idea for this particular video. Leonard, thank you so much for commenting and kind of giving me an idea for this video. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So needless to say, this is gonna contain spoilers for Persona 5 Royal. If you haven't finished the game, definitely click away now, because this will contain some spoilers pertaining to Akechi as a character. So Akechi, Goro Akechi is one of the most interesting characters in Persona 5 Royal. Particularly, I will say right off the bat, before anyone comments, I am not a fan of Akechi. I'm actually the opposite of a fan. I do not really like him very much, but I do find his character very interesting. And I made a video last year discussing how I thought Persona 5 Royal helped Akechi be a better character, a much more interesting character. Maybe not relatable per se, but at least a character that made more sense. And a lot of the new more choices that he does then later down the line make more sense as you get more information. You get the social link. The social link is very interesting, and it just adds more layers to the character, and I feel like it works better as a whole. And as I was playing to Persona 5 Royal, I was very interested to see how this character became the way it did, but also whether this character really redeem itself in the end. There is a lot of people that have commented about the lack of Akechi in Persona 5 Strikers, for example, or the fact that there is this supposed Persona 5 game where Akechi is the main protagonist as a detective or something like that, which are interesting ideas on their own. That's not really the title of the year or anything like that, but that shows that there is very much an interest on this character as a whole. And as far as whether I believe that he is a character that redeemed himself, I don't really know. I don't think so. I really don't. Personally, I find one of these characters that there is a lot of once in a while characters where they have a lot of things they do really bad at the end, and they turn around, they do become more of an anti-hero type of characters. And a lot of people love this kind of characters because they become either lovable or interesting, or what they do makes you feel like they're a better character, like a better human being. But on the other hand, you could argue Akechi did a lot of things, like really bad things. Even if you were to take into consideration things like the abuse that he received from his parent, and the fact that he was just he was used by his dad and everything, you can still think of like the stuff that he did in like a pretty terrible light. Like he still decided to murder people, and even try to murder you, the protagonist. There are things that you're like, yeah, he did some pretty shitty stuff. Like even like if you want to consider like the Phantom Tips as a whole, he tried to set up the Phantom Tips with the police and everything, like I mentioned before. He also killed Haru's dad. Like, we don't really talk about that or like mention it in like Royal, and like the Royal content on the third semester or anything, but there's like some like this tension, really, if you will, between what Akechi tried to do and like the rest of the cast. And I really feel like that's the one thing that I don't know if it worked out really well for me, because at the end of the day, like I said, I don't really feel like he redeemed himself. I feel like he did some interesting choices where he was willing to sacrifice himself, or he was trying to break away from this illusion or that we're in with whether you call it an illusion or whether you call it another world where everybody's happy or anything like that. I don't know. I really don't believe that his choices were good enough to kind of redeem anything, really. Of course, he wants to be a better person, if you will, maybe not really. That's kind of one of the things where I feel like where it really falls short, as far as like thinking Akechi as a redeemed character, because when you go out to hang out with him, There is a bar where you go meet with him. It's like a jazz bar that plays some music and everything. And there's a song that is made for Akechi. Um, and this song plays out pretty much whenever you go visit him. And the lyrics of the song really say more about Persona. Like Akechi as a character, his persona, his like other self and everything, and the kind of character that he is. But one line that was, like brings to mind is when he says, or like when the song says, that he doesn't really regret. Like, it's literally called "Not More What Ifs," but there's a line where he says he doesn't really regret what happened, and that really, to me at least, speaks to volumes as far as like the character he is. Where yeah, he knows he fucked up, and yeah, he's like, yeah, I can move on from that, but he's not really necessarily regretting it, or other like trying to maybe be better now or something. But I don't even know. That's just my interpretation of that. This song is very interesting, and if you really like look through the lyrics of No More What Ifs, it really just again shows volumes of like the kind of character that he is. And no, at the end of the day, I don't think he redeemed himself. I think he's still a pretty shit person, human being. What he did was totally wrong, and I don't really even have any like compassion for him as a character. Like, I don't I feel bad for what happened to him, but I don't feel bad for the decisions that he did. I feel like he really did a lot of stuff that doesn't make him a redeemable character. Maybe that's just me. Some people may feel more on the sense where they like him more, or like they feel like he could be a character that redeems himself. But at no point do you see him like maybe apologizing for the stuff that he did, like talking to Haru. I'm like, hey, I'm sorry I killed your dad, or like we know Haru's dad wasn't really necessarily a good parent or anything like that. I mean, if you look at like Haru's dad and then look at Akechi's dad, I mean, they're runner-ups for like shit dad of the year, right? But at the same time, like that's not for him to like intervene in the sense that he did or anything. He tried to set up the Phantom Thieves, tried to kill Joker. There's no like conversation about like, hey, yeah, sorry I tried to murder you, but we're cool now, right? We're friends, right? And everything. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on that and everything. Definitely want to hear your comments down below. What do you think about the character? Do you think he redeems himself in the end? He's a better character now. Do you want him to return? I do have a different discussion video that I have another idea talking about more about Akechi later on down the line, see if that pans out or anything. But I want to hear your comments down below about this. Is he a redeemed character? Is he a better character? Do you think that his choices really make sense as far as like him being like part of the Phantom Thieves still or something like that? I don't know. I've seen so many people comment as far as like, oh, he needs to come back for Strikers, or if there's a Persona 5 3, like the third part of the trilogy of Persona 5, he needs to come back or something. I don't really see the need for him to come back or anything. He is an interesting character, and again, I did like how crazy he is in the last game. But as far as like him being part of a team like the Phantom Thieves or something like that, I don't know if that pans out for me. Like, not in the same way. Like, if you look at another character like Akechi, for example, now it's like Persona 4 spoilers here, right? If you look at a character like Akechi, and Adachi is an interesting character for like other different ways. Like, there's so many different things about Adachi that I like about him. Completely different from like Akechi, and Akechi is like a very different kind of character, but they're both like in that villain archetype kind of thing. And he at no point tries to redeem himself or anything like that, even though he shows up in Persona 4 Arena and Ultimax. He shows up and he like kind of has like a scene and everything. But at no point is he attempting to redeem himself. He knows he's the piece of shit, basically, right? And that he's totally fine with that. And that's kind of one of those things where, like, I see that, but he's not trying to be part of the investigation team, And that, I don't know, that's kind of my thoughts about this, because I've seen a lot of different kind of interpretations of this. Kind of some people that like Akechi in a different light or something like that. But that's how I interpret it, that's how I see it. So let me know again in the comments down below. Do you like him? Do you not? And do you think he redeemed himself in the end? Do you want him to come back in the next game? And of course we'll definitely talk about what happens in the end in another video. But anyway, thanks so much for watching this, guys. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye. But before we end this video, I want to thank all the members: Miko, Another Fox, Demicro, H2DK, King Narukami 45, Ita McNeil, and Rising Oilblin. Thank you so much, guys, for your support. I couldn't make these videos without your help.